ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.
Adiyan Ramanujasan Swami.
Adiyan Ramanujasan.
Adiyan has a small question, Swami, with reference to qualification required on part of the Adiyars for preaching, Swami. Because generally what we always is general, human tendency that we would like to preach something, but we may not be practicing it so much. And Adiyan doubts the effectiveness of such kind of preaching. But what qualities should we cultivate before, we preach in a way that it reaches the audience in a positive manner? Sometimes it's said if if we can't preach, at least we practice properly so we don't give a bad example. And if we preach something and we externally do some, we're wearing tilakam and we're doing some kind of aradhana, etc. But let us say we lose our anger and lose our calm and quarrel or something like that. That case, we're actually misrepresenting our sampradayam. So isn't it, Swami, that we should develop certain qualities before we are eligible for preaching? Swami, is that something like that? Or should we look at it as if like we have to start somewhere, so it will automatically come? Should we expect that it will automatically come with our desire to preaching, that quality will come? How do we balance, Swami? Devri's advice on
See, first of all, as far as preaching is considered, there are different levels of preaching. One aspect of preaching is sharing whatever good thing we learn and understand. So that is one level of preaching. And then the next level would be more than just sharing. We are trying to present something more solid and emphasizing the need for others to practice it. So these two levels, let's say initially we can see these two levels. First level is just sharing good things. Let's say we buy a shirt, we like it, we tell others, I bought this shirt, it's very nice, it's very comfortable, you also buy. So something like that. We get some Bhagavad Anubhavam, we recite some pasurams and we feel happy and we share that to others. I recited these pasurams, it's very nice, very soothing for the self. So you also try reciting these pasurams. Or you can say, I listened to this particular lecture where Guru Parampara is nicely explained. You also listen to this lecture. So these are all suggestions, sharing of whatever good things which we experienced. So these can be done at any level. There is no specific prerequisite or anything like that. Something we like, we share to others, and it's something which is good as well. It's not just materialistic, it's something which is very, very good. It is very good for the self, true nature of the self. It matches the Swarupam. So whatever that information is, we share to others. So that is one level. But when we go into real preaching, where we say that, this is something which we need to practice, this is something which we need to do, this is something we all have to follow. So when we start that particular aspect, we have to be practicing whatever we preach. Specifically in Manavad Mamnigal's Charitram, in Yatindra Pravana Prabhavam, this particular aspect is emphasized, that whatever we insist on others, whatever we emphasize on others, that you follow this, you do this, first thing is we must be practicing it ourselves. If we don't practice and just preach, it is like it's a very crude example which is given in that passage from Manavad Mamnigal himself. He himself says it is like a prostitute teaching chastity or something like that. So if we are not following something, let's say some particular anushtanam, uh, and we insist that others do, let's say, not getting angry, for example. If we ourselves are getting angry for even simple things, and we keep saying others, you should not get angry, you should not get angry, and so on, sooner or later people will know that we are just um, preaching without practicing, and they will not have faith in what we are saying, because they will say that you are not following what you are preaching to start with, so you don't have complete faith in what you're saying. How do you expect me to follow that? So that question may arise. So there is certainly that aspect of following what we preach, which is very, very essential, especially in cases where we emphasize others to follow it. But one thing we have to understand is, when we um, go through Vyakyanams, commentaries, Rahasya Granthams, Kalakshepams, we have to explain whatever is there. Now, in that particular case, we may not be 100% following everything which is in the book. Yes, everyone will have some limitation. If we, for example, if Sri Vachana Bhushanam has to be taught, if someone has to explain Sri Vachana Bhushanam, even in Mamnigal's days, Manavan Mamnigal says, Oru Rundagil Atane Kan Nenjame. So he is saying, even if there is one person who can follow the Sri Vachana Bhushanam to the full extent, you see if you can find someone like that. But many acharyas have explained Sri Vachana Bhushanam, have given lectures and so on. So even though we may not be 100% following what is in the Grantham, at least we must have the desire to fully accept whatever is there in the Grantham, and fully accept that it is truth. Whatever is said must be followed. It is just unfortunate that we are not able to follow some or even most of the principles which are explained. And we should be also feeling guilty, and we must be feeling bad that we are not able to follow, and beg for forgiveness from Bhagavan constantly. That is what the whole, for example, in Gadyatrayam, Manovakayahi, in that sequence of Churnikais, Emperor is praying that I have committed so many different offenses through my speech, through my mind, through my body, and I've got so much karma, and I've got so much ignorance. And he keeps listing out all of those and praying that Bhagavan forgives all of those and accepts his Kainkariam. And this, for example, this Gadyatrayam, especially Sharanagati Gadyam, is something which is to be recited every day. So every day we must be feeling that we are not up to the mark. Even though we may be following a few things, we may have some few good qualities, but if you look at the Purvacharya literature, if you look at the Granthams, the standard set for us is very, very high. The standard followed by the Purvacharyas is very, very high. Nowadays, we were having some discussion, for example, a few days ago, and one thing came up was, even if someone is below average as per Shastram, as per Purvacharya's standards, but if you look at today's world, even that below average seems to be very high. For example, if someone is having Shika, he is having Dwadasa Urdhva Pundram, um, and wearing Panchakacham and going to temple daily basis. These are all very normal in the olden days, and everyone would be doing these. These are all very basic expectations from any Sri Vaishnava. But nowadays, if someone is doing this, that person is seen as a very great Anushtata, for example. Even just having the basic physical qualities, physical attributes which are expected from every Sri Vaishnava, irrespective of whether Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, male, female, children, old people, everyone must have certain basic qualities. Having Urdhva wearing proper devotional clothes, um, going to temple, doing some basic kainkaryams and so on. These are all expected from everyone. But now to do this itself is seen as very great. So that is how far away from Purvacharya's standards we are. So that's something which we have to think about, and every day we should think about progressing step by step. Every day we should improve a little bit. It is said that for Atma, if we look back, we should be a little bit better than yesterday, today. So if we look again tomorrow, if we look back, we should be a little bit more advanced in our practice. So every day we should be making small progress. It may be very, very small change, but still Atma should progress upward only. One should never go down. If we start practicing certain good things and we follow it for a few days and then we give up, then there is no purpose. So that progress should be there. And when that progress culminates into a reasonable level, then naturally preaching will match that practice. And then naturally, for people who are listening to whatever we preach, for them also it will give confidence. It is not that it is not just that they are talking from the book, but it is also something they are practicing, and it should also be enjoyable. It's not like we do certain things, but we keep cursing. Oh, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this. Then that is also no benefit, because again it shows that we don't have that confidence in the words of Purvacharyas, in the Shastram. So we must have faith, because faith is the foundation for everything. We see our acharyas, our alvas as well-wishers. They have always put the interest of the society above their own personal benefits, personal gains. So we see them as very authentic, very, very trustworthy persons, and we believe in whatever they have given us, they've given to us. So once we take those qualities and we start following, then preaching will become natural. We don't even have to try. If we just speak, it will be whatever we follow only. If we look at commentaries, for example, if we look at Nammalvar's Tiruvayamozhi, often we will see in the commentary saying that Nammalvar will preach only what he practices. So it is not that he is saying so many things. For example, Nannadar, Murvalipa, Nallutar, Karindenga, and so on. In those pasurams, it says, in this world, this is the nature. When somebody is suffering, the favorable people will look at it and they also will feel bad. Unfavorable people will look at it and they will say, oh, it's good, let him suffer. So this is the nature of this world. So all of these, when he is saying, it is not just for preaching, but it is something he feels inside him, and he is presenting those realizations. When such realizations come out, it will have great impact. So when we hear those kalakshepams, when we hear those advice, instructions, then we feel that, okay, Nammalvar is saying really something which is worthy. It is something which is valuable. So when we are in that particular stage where we think we are preaching, especially those aspects which we insist on others to follow, then we must be practicing those as much as possible.
Dhanyoshmi Swami.
ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.
To learn such valuable information about our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, please download Koyil, KOYIL app from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Our website is koyil.org, KOYIL.org.